Long before Mount Marathon captivated all of Alaska, the peak and the race that shares its name belonged to Seward.
That mountain behind us had been used as a lookout. They used to go up there to spot ships, and when they'd get up there, then they'd bet who could get down first to ring the bell.
As foot races began sprouting up in the early 20th century, it was only a natural to have a competition on the 3,022-foot, still unnamed mountain.
Sometime before 1915, a group of guys were sitting around in a bar, and the bet was whether you could get to the top, the first peak, and back down again in an hour.
The winner of that initial Mount Marathon, James Walters, in 1 hour, 2 minutes. 1916 champion Alec Bolam, seen here on the right next to racing legend Ralph Hatch, became the first person to crack 1 hour.
We begin to see by 1916 it's called the Marathon Mountain, and then it's called Marathon Mountain, and then it morphs into Mount Marathon.
There was a little hint in there. It said this should become as popular as the All-Alaska Sweepstakes, which was the famous dog race up in Nome between Nome and Candle.
There's a big article in the Seward Gateway, a big editorial saying, you know, the business people in Seward should really put up a big purse for this, $1,000, because this is a big race, and someday this is going to be the biggest event on the 4th of July in Alaska.
By 1928, Ephraim Kalmakoff of the Jesse Lee home in Seward gave the Mount Marathon race some notoriety by setting a then-course record of 52 minutes, 35 seconds. He remains the youngest champion at age 14.
They could go to the mountain any way they wanted. So they would cut across lawns and lots.
Mount Marathon itself got lonely between 1932 and 38. There was also no race held in 1942.
I think it really took off during the war and after the Second World War as soldiers started to run it, and then Olympic athletes started to run it. That's when it really started getting big.
Races became popular and more people. This was a challenge, obviously.
A story started to run in magazines and running magazines. Images of the running started to appear all over the world.
Nowadays, the race is embedded in Alaskan culture. The field is capped, and a lottery system allows for wildcard entries. And although runners have 2 options near the base of the mountain, the rest of the race has a prescribed route. But a century after its origin, the Mount Marathon race still entices the Alaskan can-do spirit that exists inside many of us.
The mountain is more than just the race to a lot of us. It's a mountain behind us, and in the wintertime or in foggy days when we can't see it, we still know it's there.
I think the founders would be extremely happy the way it's turned out.
Quite a long way from a simple wager between buddies sharing a drink.